Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. One day after a tragic display at the Bernabeu yesterday, a mass exodus is brewing at Manchester City. Not too concerning, depending on which fan you ask, but to me and several other Manchester City fans, looking at some of the names on this list that I just saw on social media, it is getting to be a little bit concerning to me, and we're going to talk about it. This is going to be a short video, and of course, I would love to hear your opinions about it, so drop your comments down below. Without further ado, let's begin.
Kevin De Bruyne!
This was a tweet that I saw on City Extra, and other City influencers and other journalists were tweeting about the same exact thing, and we're going to go through each of the names and what I believe should be the destination of each of these names. First up is Prince Harry himself, Kevin De Bruyne, and my actual 100% unbiased and unfiltered opinion about Kevin De Bruyne is I will want whatever the hell he wants. He's the only player I'm going to say this about because Kevin De Bruyne pretty much, we now know, risked his entire hamstring and risked his career to give us a Champions League trophy. We know that now, and to be honest, being able to understand that yesterday could have been his last Champions League game, and that game against Real Madrid at the Etihad was most likely his last Champions League game for Manchester City is both really sad and really sad. The thing about it is Kevin De Bruyne is the greatest midfielder in Premier League history, in my opinion. He's one of the greatest players I've ever seen play in the 21st century, all positions. Whatever KDB wants is whatever I want. Next name on this list is Bernardo Silva, and to be honest, it's a pretty weird response that I'm going to give you because it's a little bit vague. If we can live in a world where Pep Guardiola doesn't play Bernardo Silva too much next season and gives James McAtee, Savinho, Doku, or other attacking players on the right-hand side in the middle a chance, I would 100% keep Bernardo Silva. If he's going to keep Bernardo Silva in the starting 11 every single game up until this season and throughout next season, and James McAtee is 100% going to leave in that case, at that point I am probably leaning towards Bernardo Silva leaving the club. However, bringing Bernardo Silva off the bench would be absolutely sensational. This is one of the most talented players in world football on his day. Have you ever seen a better dribbler in the Premier League in the last 5 years? The answer is 100% no. Bernardo Silva is exquisite. The thing is that he is Pep Guardiola's favorite child, and he keeps getting minutes. That is why I am saying if we could live in a world where his minutes gets limited, then I would want that. But if he is going to keep playing him, then Bernardo Silva should leave. Next up is John Stones, and to be honest, I'm really sad about this, but John Stones' injuries over the course of his career, we have been robbed, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of what club you support in the Premier League. I think it's pretty clear and pretty easy to say this because we've seen it with our own eyes. This is one of the most uniquely talented footballers I have ever seen in the Premier League. Defender, really tall, really lanky, didn't have a passing ability in the beginning. And now he can move up the field and play as a 6 or an 8, and he can do it better than most players in his position in Europe. Because of his injury record and that alone, I would look towards selling John Stones this season. Next up is Mateo Kovacic, and I absolutely am not getting rid of Mateo Kovacic. I don't know why a lot of City fans on Twitter are calling for the exodus of Mateo Kovacic. To bring on Mateo Kovacic off the bench when we have a starting midfield of Nico Gonzalez and Rodri for next season would be an absolute dream. This guy's ability to carry the ball is exquisite. And as a player myself, I can appreciate a lot of the things that he does in the game more than most people who want to see flair, who want to see goals and assists. But the ability to look before you get the ball, the ability to scan, the ability to shift your body, the ability to turn and drive into space, and know that you have a backup plan in your mind if a defender comes at you, that is exquisite. That is a mental skill set. Yes, it's not a Cristiano Ronaldo bicycle kick. It's not aesthetic. Humans, our eyes are drawn to spectacles. But me as a player myself, Mateo Kovacic is an incredibly talented football player. Selling him and getting rid of him this summer would be an absolute travesty, in my opinion. The next player on this list is İlkay Gundogan, and this is going to be really tough for me to say because obviously my uncle İlkay Gundogan. I think it is time. I think it's time for him to leave Manchester City. İlkay Gundogan, one of our best ever legends. But unfortunately, this transfer to Manchester City this season just didn't work out, and I think it's time for him to leave. Next up, we got Ederson. Ederson leaving would be one of the dumbest decisions we could possibly make. Goalkeepers can play well into their mid-30s, so his age isn't really an issue in my opinion. All right. What really surprised me was that a lot of City fans on my last video were getting on me for praising Ederson, and a lot of City fans on Twitter were calling Ederson out, calling him trash, and making fun of him for laughing with Rodrigo after the game. I don't know why you people get so pressed because of that. No offense, but as a player myself, just joking with an opponent like that, that's part of the game. It happens. It's just respect. There's nothing you can do. Trust me, in the 90 minutes, you want to dismantle them legally within the rules of the game, obviously. You want to hurt them. I want to beat them down, but after, there's nothing wrong with being friendly and being respectful. It's his national teammate. Relax. Next on this list is Jack Grealish, and look, to be honest, before I made this video, my mind was pretty much made up. I want to keep him. However, looking at the potential development halts that we have with some of our other players, like James McAtee, Doku, who's not getting any minutes, which is crazy in my opinion. Jack Grealish is just an incredibly talented player, and his unique skill set at holding the ball is just absolutely amazing to me. I love Jack Grealish with all my heart. I have him right over here because he is an absolute gem in our team. The thing is that if he wants to leave and be his own man somewhere else, then so be it. There's just too many players that are going to be exiting Manchester City, and we need to keep some of our good players that can add onto our bench for next season. Could possibly start in a lot of games, Jack Grealish. Remember, we wouldn't have advanced in the FA Cup if it wasn't for Jack Grealish. We wouldn't have taken the lead against Real Madrid last week if it wasn't for Jack Grealish. Him leaving would just be a bad decision. Next on this list is Kyle Walker. Yeah, he can go. Thank you all so much for watching. This is a pretty short video, but let me know your thoughts about this mass exodus. What you think about our chances of signing floating inverts. What you think about our chances of letting players like Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, and Mateo Kovacic go. Ultimately, realistically speaking, possibly Kevin De Bruyne is going to be leaving. Kyle Walker is going to be leaving. John Stones is going to be leaving. Ilkay Gundogan is going to be leaving. Those are 4 players with a high chance of leaving. I want to keep players like Kovacic and Grealish and Bernardo Silva in this team for next year. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you all so much for watching.